Welcome to The Actor's Choice, where the actors and actresses have a chance to talk about themselves and their careers. Join us now for the next hour as we explore the marvelous industry of acting by actors and actresses from today's exciting show business world. And now, direct from Hollywood, here's your host, Ron Brewington.
Hi everybody, I'm Ron Brewington and welcome to The Actor's Choice. Brought to you by Photography is an Art, Harvey Brandman, Master Photographer, located at 1307 North San Fernando Boulevard, Burbank, California. And attorney Ron Irwin's 5150 The Book. It's the story of a young Irwin serving 13 months as a Marine in South Vietnam. And author Larry Buford's book To the Future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule, available in paperback for only $17.95. And State Farm agent Carla Green, who says, and like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have two fantastic guests. The first is a celebrity vegan chef, cookbook author, and leading figure in the movement to reform food system in Hispanic communities. He's been featured by a large variety of media outlets in both the United States and Latin America. He has cooked as a host for a plant-powered stars in the television, film, and music industries, including television, hostess and model Daisy Fuentes, actresses Ella Monet and Harley Quinn Smith, among many. Please welcome Chef Eddie Garza. Chef, thank you very much for being here. We are honored to have you here today. They tell me you know how to whip them pots together, so we are glad to have you here today. My first question, sir, what made you become a vegan chef?
Well, Ron, first of all, thank you so much for having me. That's a great question. What had me become a vegan chef is really because I've been cooking for about as long as I can remember. I remember when I was 7 years old, I made my very first French crepe for my mother who was sick in bed. And, but the vegan thing came a little after. We can talk about this a little bit more later. I think you've got that already on the script. But I became a vegan chef because I was a chef. I was somebody who wanted to be in the kitchen all the time, and during my transition to being vegan, I just ended up making it the whole thing, a vegan chef. Vegan Mexican chef.
Mexican chef, because I like that black outfit you be wearing. I see every picture I see, most of the time you're wearing that. Looking very good, sir.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Yes, indeed. But tell us about the years that you spent in a Mexican-American town of Brownsville, Texas.
Brownsville, Texas, on the border by the sea. That's the slogan. It was really cool growing up in Brownsville. You got to experience the American side of life and also the Mexican side of life. So that included the food. So we had all the best of the American food and the best of the Mexican food. Of course, that came with a lot of health problems. So one of the things that I really enjoyed about growing up in that part of Texas is that you really do get to see the other side of. My parents are from Mexico. They're immigrants from Mexico. So I got to see and learn about their culture and also have that nice mix, that mezcla, it's the word mix, of both. So that really was my experience in Brownsville. Okay. There was an event called Charro Days. It was a week-long festival where we go and explore. You remember Charro Days. You go and explore all the cool things from Mexican culture, different dances, different foods, and yeah, it was fun. I mean, we got to take the whole week off of school that week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, it's interesting, like many of your childhood peers, you struggled with serious weight problems from an early age, maxing out at 310 pounds by the time you were 21 years old. Can you show that picture, Tony? I mean, we call it before and after.
Yeah.
And look at you on the right side.
Right.
Healthy. And no one would never know how old you are. I mean, the man is up in his age. He's only 38 years old. He's looking great. He looks great. But again, people, you know, it's interesting because a lot of folks don't understand that being that size as you got to be,
right,
that's dangerous.
It's very dangerous. In fact, that picture on the left, I'm 21, and now on the right, I'm 41. I look a lot younger. I look a lot healthier. I am a lot healthier. But it's really cool to be able to now make those same foods that made me that heavy, but still enjoy them in a plant-based way, which is one of the reasons that I really wanted to do that as a profession, go and show people how they can still enjoy those same flavors in a healthy way that's not going to hurt their body cholesterol, it's not going to affect their heart health, and that's why, you know, growing up in South Texas was cool because you did get to experience all those foods, but at the same time, there was a large population of young people who were struggling with weight problems and other problems that were related to their weight. So one of the things that I like to talk about is my experience as a 21-year-old obese man who could not walk a certain sidewalk if it was still crooked. If it was too crooked, I knew that I was going to sprain my ankles. I knew that my ankles could not support the weight that I had put on myself. Yes. So the whole vegan thing is all like full circle. I look at the chickens who were genetically modified to be so big, and I look at how they break their legs all the time. It's the same thing. I identify with those animals who were suffering in these factory farms. So one of the great things about vegan food is it's good for your health, yes. It's good for the planet, and of course it's good for animals.
Well, we were talking in the green room about culture and about the different foods that come down to people. As I said to you, as a young man, I can remember as an African American eating pig feet, eating chitlins, eating hogboard. It was our culture. It's what we ate. Came back from slavery days. But right. Each culture has their own culture within. How do you assimilate and make people understand the importance of eating good food?
Yeah, well, that's a really great question, because culture is something that I talk about a lot in my book, in my cookbook.
Yes.
It's vegan Mexican food, and a lot of people say, how do you make vegan Mexican food?
Yes.
But I say very simple. Some of the staples of Mexico before the Europeans came to Mexico were largely plant-based foods. Things like tlacoyos, which are, think of it as like a hot pocket, a Mexican hot pocket filled with black beans and covered with nopales and other delicious foods that are all plant-based. Things like enchiladas, some of the oldest foods in Mexico, plant-based. Things like tamales. Everybody loves tamales, right? I mean, that's the thing, you still gift them for Christmas. You know, you wrap them up and you give them as a present. It's all your hard labor, but that's ancient foods from Mexico that never included meat. So now, because my family is from northern Mexico primarily, yes. This is the culture that is known for the very meaty foods and the very heavy cheese foods. But there's an alternative for every single thing. So I can make a chile relleno with a plant-based meat alternative and cheese and cream that you can make out of nuts. It's pretty simple. It's pretty delicious.
Wow. Any time in your life, particularly when you're young, did you ever eat meat? You've tasted meat?
Yeah, I mean, I ate a lot of meat. My father is from Monterrey area, and that place is known for like their heavy steaks. It's kind of like Texas, like, you know, it's like cattle and steak houses. That's what Monterrey is in all of northern Mexico. So of course I ate a lot of meat, but that meat was what was making me sick, making me unhealthy, and now I have alternatives for all of those different meats that my dad still loves to eat, but my brother has gone vegan. He's been vegan for about a year and a half, has improved his health, and everything we have is same flavors we grew up with.
Right. Do you recall the time you made that decision to stop getting off the meat and get into the vegans? Do you recall that time?
I do. And I have to thank my friend for giving me that little push that I needed. It was the second year of my teaching. I was a teacher before, and she was a new teacher who came in and told me that I needed to lose weight or I was gonna die. It was one of those moments where in Texas you don't really say those kinds of things to somebody in their face. You say that behind their back, right? But she said it in my face. It was really embarrassing, but I really needed that push. And it was that day that I started making the decision to start a healthier path, and that included eating less meat and more plant-based foods. It started with 1 day out of the week, 2 days out of the week, and then eventually I went 5 days. Finally gave up. The last thing was a Sunday. That was my last day that I actually ate some dairy product before I went vegan all the way. It was a 5-year process, but it was worth it.
5 years?
Yeah.
What do people say to you when they first saw you make that dynamic change?
You know, I think most people were, this is a long time ago. This is, you know, I started this process 20 years ago. So back then it was still a very new concept. Today, it's not a new concept. Most people are very conscious that eating more plant-powered foods are going to be the healthier foods. In fact, the dietary guidelines for Canada were just released, and they show that everything is plant-based. They don't even suggest eating meat as a way to eat a healthy diet. And we're seeing this shift everywhere else. Here in the United States, I see it in Mexico, I see it in Colombia, I see it all over Latin America, that there is a big push to eating more plant-based foods.
Great. And you are out there pushing a lot of people. At the offset of the program, I mentioned the movement that you are now leading called Reforming Food System in Hispanic Communities. Can you explain what you're doing, sir?
Sure. Well, as I mentioned, right now there is a big shift.
Right.
We're seeing countries like Canada saying, eat more plant-powered foods. I'm seeing it just in Mexico as kind of a starting point of this is the big movement of food in Latin America, and it's only growing. So what I've been trying to do is I've been using my skills in the kitchen and showing people how simple it can be to incorporate plant-based food.
And your celebrity. And your celebrity.
Well, I'll tell you, for me, it's really just because I've done a lot of TV work in Latin America, so all my TV work is with cooking, you know, and it's cooking simple foods. People don't know how simple it can be to make chile relleno without the meat, or make a cream without actually using cows to make that cream. So my work has largely been with working with big restaurant groups, working with school districts in areas that have high Hispanic populations to get them to understand the importance and also the know-how to make these changes at home for long-lasting change.
Excellent, excellent. I would take, if I had a hat on right now, I'd take it off right now, because you were recently named one of the top plant-based chefs in the world. Not the country, but in the world. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
What was that like for you?
Well, I'll tell you, one of the things that made me really proud was that I am the only Latino on the list, so that's pretty cool. It's been a thing that I think vegan food has been very much a part of like white society for a long time, and now we're seeing that this is turning into vegans of color, and now to be recognized for something as the Latino on the list. That's pretty cool.
All right. All right. All right. Now, what is some of your favorite foods that you like to cook?
Well, favorite foods that I like to cook are things that I grew up eating as a kid. So one of my favorite breakfasts is called mollete. It's this delicious, like, toast with black beans on top and a chorizo, a really highly spiced sausage that I make with chickpeas. Top that off with some aguacate, some avocado,
I'm getting hungry.
cream. It's delicious. So breakfast foods have always been some of my favorites. I often hashtag breakfast for dinner, because that's something that my husband and I like to do, is eat breakfast for dinner. So those are my favorite things to cook, breakfast foods.
Okay. Now, you've got a vegan Mexico cookbook out on sale right now. Please show it to us and tell us about that book.
Awesome. Yeah, this is my book. It's called Salud Vegan Mexican Cookbook.
Salud.
It's got 150 plant-based recipes that represent the 150 pounds that I lost by going plant-based, with some of my favorite dishes, including the mollete, which you can see here on, oh, actually, it's another picture I'm going to show you. It's chile relleno. But this is mollete. It's my favorite thing.
Oh,
this is really delicious. But yeah, there are so many different recipes in here, from breakfast to snacks.
Got you.
You got
multi-language.
Desserts. This one is in English.
Okay.
Now, if you do want Spanish language recipes, you can follow me on Instagram. I'm the Eddie Garza on Instagram, and I often share recipes in both English and Spanish. Things that you're never going to find anywhere else.
Right. Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah.
Now you can get that in, where can I get the book?
Yeah, you can get this at Amazon. If you live here in LA, you can get this at Barnes & Noble, but Amazon can get it to you a couple days.
Wow. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. All you got to do is just read the book and get in there and play around with food.
Yeah, you're going to see how simple it is.
Right.
The recipes, the large majority of these can be made under 30 minutes, and they're ingredients that you can find pretty much anywhere. You can find them at Ralph's, you can find them at Whole Foods, you can find them at Vons, just pretty much anywhere.
Okay. We got a video that was supplied to us, where it's what it shows you actually cooking some food. Can you put that up on the screen for us and tell us what it is that we're looking at, please?
Sure thing. So the video that we're looking at right now is a spicy eggplant barbacoa taco. So everybody knows what barbacoa is, right? Okay. Barbacoa is it's the meal that we usually eat on Sunday mornings. You go to the store, you buy your tortillas, and you get somebody to cook you this meat. Now, it's really, really, really high in fat. It's one of the greasiest foods that you can eat. So I found a way to develop a similar texture to the barbacoa, but without using all this high cholesterol meat. Instead, I use eggplant in a way that a lot of people in the United States don't really know how to use eggplant, but it's a common way to use it in Mexico. So it's eggplant that's shredded like you shred cheese. You put it in the solution of salt water and just a little bit of lime to help get that bitterness out of it.
Yes.
Squeeze it out, and then you cook it up with some onion, some garlic, and you do this. Essentially, it's just kind of like a stir fry with a lot of different spices. Something that I use a lot in Mexican food is I use cinnamon. I've got lots of friends in Mexico who say, in order to make something Mexican, all you got to do is add cinnamon to it. And I agree. So there's a little bit of cinnamon in there. There's chile in there. We've got some comino, cumin, something that I use all the time. And then I've also got some tomatoes, some red tomatoes that I mix in there. It's a really simple dish. It's something that doesn't really take a lot of time to do in the kitchen, but it's something that everybody's going to love. Every single person who's tried this recipe says, wow, this is crazy that you can actually make barbacoa out of eggplant. And wow. I love it. You're going to love it too.
Indeed. Now, when you're on TV doing these kind of cooking things like
sure.
this, events like that, where do you get the people from? Do they just come in there, they want to learn something? How can people come and be on your show?
Well, it's so I do develop some content on my own, but mostly I've been on other shows and other people's TV shows. Okay. I do have a regular program that I was doing in Colombia called Trendeando, which means trending. And it was cool that they had me on there all the time having my own little segment because it truly was trending. Plant-based food was trending in Colombia and still is trending in Colombia. But primarily, the work that if you want to come cook with me, if you want to come create a video with me, obviously, you know, just send me an email, find me on Instagram, and we'll see if we can find something to do. But I have worked with some really cool artists, like you mentioned, Daniela Monet. She and I actually cooked a really cool video in Tulum, Mexico. We cooked in the jungle, so that was really fun. And then I did work with Daisy Fuentes on creating a vegan Cubano sandwich. Everybody loves Cubano sandwiches, right? And I showed how to make this meat, this plant-based meat that's like a ham to make a delicious Cubano sandwich. So if you're interested in doing something with a Latin twist, yes, just hit me up.
Okay. You got a website?
I do have a website. It's eddiegarza.net. And there I do have a couple of recipes, a couple of sample recipes, and I'm going to be updating those every month. New recipes to try out. Always simple, always delicious.
Excellent. I get the feeling that you like what you're doing.
I love what I'm doing. Yeah, that's for sure.
Indeed.
For sure.
Now, you deal with celebrities. They like to look good all the time.
Yes.
And then you come bringing your food and you lay it down. How do they feel about it?
You know, every single person that I've worked with, I try to cater to their particular needs. Tonight, I'm cooking a dinner for a local celebrity's house, and she's requested gluten-free. So everything is gluten-free, from the brownies that I made, the Mexican spice brownies that I made, to the ceviche that I made with mango and these delicious mushrooms that everybody should try. Everybody knows them, shiitake mushrooms, but that can be like the perfect vehicle for a ceviche, to the chile relleno that I made. But I try to cater to their needs. Recently I did host a Thanksgiving, a vegan Thanksgiving at my house, and it was some Colombian friends who work in television in Colombia, and I created a lot of different Colombian style recipes for them. That was a really fun event. Everybody loved the food, but I think we were all a little bit shocked that my Thanksgiving dinner ended up in the tabloids, which was interesting. But it was always delicious. It's always going to be delicious, and always going to be something that is going to cater to the needs.
Cater to the needs.
That's it.
Speaking of which, what are your future plans?
Well, my future plans include a lot of different things here in LA. I'm currently working on 3 different productions, and I'm also working on another book that is going to be, I don't want to say too much, but it's going to be in both English and in Spanish. So it's going to be something to watch out for.
Wow. Well, Chef Eddie, we've enjoyed talking with you, and thank you very much for stopping by. May I have your right hand, please?
Absolutely.
Thank you. I'll always give people a silver dollar for good luck. Hold on to that, and you will do well in what you're doing. You started out with a great idea, and look where you got yourself to. I know your family is very, very proud of you.
Thank you very much.
And I also want to thank your publicists. They have a tendency to bring some very good people my way. I don't know. I love them for doing that.
They're really great. They're really great.
Indeed. But again, thank you very, very much.
Ron, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we're going to go ahead and take a short break. And again, Chef Garza has a website that you can go to and get all this good information.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's eddiegarza.net.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron.
Okay. The studio of Harvey Brandman Photography is an artist proud to offer you a $100 discount off any photo package valued at $300 or more. Now, Harvey's been in the business for nearly a quarter of a century, and he certainly knows how to take care of his customers. So please give him a call today at 818-954-9294. You'll be glad that you did. That's 818-954-9294. And please tell Harvey that you heard about his offer right here on the Actor's Choice. 5150, the book. It's the latest release from author and attorney Ron Irwin. Now, as a young Marine, Irwin spent 13 months in Chu Lai, Republic of Vietnam. His experience, where nearly 3 million Americans went to war, was, as he puts it, 5150. The book is currently available in paperback at the Lulu.com. That's Lulu.com. And Irwin says he'll give 20% of net book sales split evenly between the veterans of foreign wars and Vietnam veterans of America. Book to the Future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule is a new book by author Larry Buford. It's a historical and faith-based account of how what we do and follow today can affect us tomorrow. The author also calls it an adventure for those who want to travel back through time. The book is now available in paperback for only $17.95 from Amazon, so please get your copy today. And now a word from State Farm agent Carla Green.
Let me ask you something. What do you see when you look at your home and your car? Do you see a bundle? A combo deal? That's how other insurance companies see them. But a State Farm agent sees so much more. Because the State Farm agent sees your home and your car as more than just 4 walls and 4 wheels. They see the things you've worked really hard for. So why not give them the protection they deserve? Let me help you with that. Give me a call. State Farm agent Carla Green, 213-239-9675. I look forward to speaking with you.
And that number again for State Farm is 213-239-9675. That's 213-239-9675. And finally, if you have a product or a service or an upcoming event that you'd like to see advertised on this program, please call 323-533-1036. That's 323-533-1036. Our prices are very, very affordable. We thank you. This is the Actor's Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. We've got some great guests today. New guests, roll it.
The children were in the front yard. It started raining. But Angel never came back in.
Did you see anyone talking to them?
No car, nothing. The neighbors helped me look. I wanted to tell the authorities, I really did. But we'd have to leave the country, and I had to think of my entire family. Dios mío.
Are you ready, Angel?
Yeah. Niño lindo. Mi niño lindo. Mismo santo, gracias. Ay,
When Jane Gloriana Villanueva was 18 years old, something truly horrific.
What you just saw was a short pic of Criminal Minds by our next guest. She's an award-winning playwright, writer, actress, who takes the stage in February as the legendary Mexican-American artist Frida Kahlo in the Idon award-winning play for Best Performance Production, Frida's Stroke of Passion. So please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Odalys Nanin.
Odalys Nanin.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you, Ron.
Thank you. Nice to be met. Nice to be met. Okay. Thank you for stopping by today and bringing along that video with you. It gives us a chance to see some of your past films.
Thank you for having me here.
Right.
Nice.
Like I told you, Chef Garza, you look like you love what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
It was a great story.
Yeah, it is a great story. As I read your story, you have been through a lot and you've made it this far.
Yeah.
And we take our hats off to you. Even
Still
if you're
here.
Not yes,
kicking.
What made you get into this business?
What made me get into that's very interesting that you just asked me that question. It was in college. I was actually pursuing political science at the time, and a friend of mine asked me to join a Cuban club because she was writing a play and she wanted me to portray the young lady that her boyfriend leaves her to go to America. And so I said, okay, sure, I'll do it. And so I performed it and I cried and I discovered that I had a gift. A lot of people came up to me and said, hey, you know, this is really good. And so I went to the drama studio department, and I auditioned there for Vern Smith, who was the professor at the time.
Okay.
And then he pulled me to his office and he said, I think you should pursue this. And voila, here I am.
Here you are. Wow. So, each and every day you see more and more people trying to get into this business, coming out of college, and coming from other parts of the country, coming from other parts of the world, just to come here to Los Angeles to say, I want to be an actor, I want to be an actress. What advice would you give them?
My goodness. Well, like I said, I think Betty Davis was right when she said you have to have guts to be in the business.
Yes, you do.
You have to have passion for the craft, and you can never give up on your dream. So the craft is what's important. The craft of acting is what I'm talking about. The business is the business, you know? That's the gut feeling.
That's the gut feeling.
Yeah.
And you also have to learn. This is a business. You have to learn as much of it as you can.
Oh, yeah, yeah. That goes beyond saying. You have to get your professional training down and the tools that you need to perform and to be a very good actor.
Yes.
And the magic of theater is definitely a great experience.
You said the right word. I love theater.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
Okay.
Did you see the Screen Actors Guild last night, their awards?
No, I didn't. I was in rehearsals.
I see. It's always good to see a lot of actors get together in a social environment like that.
Yes, it is very cool.
Have a couple of drinks and talk about it and sit there and enjoy themselves and be proud of what they're doing, yes.
Definitely.
Alan Alda, you remember him from MASH?
Of course, yes.
He got the Lifetime Achievement Award last night.
That's wonderful.
It was good to see him. Good to see him.
He's a wonderful actor.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. I see that you got your first IMDb, well, an IMDb back in 1990 for the movie Santa Barbara. That was a TV series, right?
Yes, Santa Barbara with A. Martinez.
Yes.
I had a recurring role there. It was fun.
Yeah.
I was really young, too.
Okay. But in that case, I have to ask you about our favorite A word, audition.
Audition. Oh,
yes.
My goodness, auditions. Yeah, that's like a passport to the job, you know, your audition.
Yes.
What do you want to ask about
well,
the audition?
A lot of folks, they have hang-ups about it. They don't want to, I don't want to go there, not me.
Oh, you're kidding? No. When I get an audition, I get excited. It's like, oh, wow. I get, you know, I get the chance to be in front of producers, casting directors, and, you know, to show my skills that I work so hard to achieve.
When
I get excited.
Gotcha. When you're on the set, what is your favorite part of the set?
Well, cold time is very early usually. You got to get there at 7 for makeup and hair. I like the whole process. I really enjoy the whole process, from makeup, hair, going to your dressing room, you know, your little private dressing room, you know, wagon or whatever. It's wonderful. I just did Jane the Virgin. It was wonderful.
Yes.
You know, they treat you really nice, and it's kind of nice to be part of a very creative team, a team that is really focusing on getting the best out of you, and the best performance and the best product. So I loved it. Loved the whole process, beginning to end.
Beginning to end. Because I like to be seen. I like to be seen around the food area. I like the food area down.
Oh no.
Go over there and get a little bit. Get a little bit. Get a little
You know,
bit
I usually don't eat before I perform.
Excellent. Good habit to be.
I eat after. I don't eat before.
Okay.
I like to feel light.
Okay.
You know.
When you're, you do the process, you sign the contracts, you do the audition, all that good stuff, and then you have this role that they throw at you.
Yeah.
What's next? What's next?
What's next? You have to learn your lines. Yes. You have to find the subtext of the character. And then they put you on the set and they say you go here, you go there, you go here. And you give them what they want. Make them happy.
Make them happy.
Yeah.
Wow. Memorization of a script I find it most interesting to have to do.
Yes, it is. It's a long process.
Yes.
I mean, a play, you know.
Yes.
When you're doing TV, they give you this, you know, the scene. You know ahead of time what scenes they're going to be filming. So you focus on those scenes of the day of the shooting. But when you're doing a play, it's a whole different process.
Oh, yes, it is.
You know.
Yes, it is.
Which is what I'm doing now.
Yes, we're going to come to that in just a hot minute. I'm holding off on that because I know that's one thing you want to talk about. I see that your last film role was last year, 2018, where you played Arturo's mother in the popular TV series Jane the Virgin.
Yes.
Busy abroad. That's a nice role to get.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yes.
And it so happened that the guy that played my son is actually in my play. So I show up, and he looks, "Are you my mom?" And I go, "Yes." We've done plays together. It was really fun.
That's what I like about this business. Everybody's close. They know each other. We worked over here. We worked over there.
And he's actually now in this play. He plays Judas in Frida, Stroke of Passion.
Okay.
I call him my TV son.
Yes. The time is now. We're going to talk about what you just said, Frida's Stroke of Passion. This is a play that you have put together. You wrote it. You've done everything to it. You star in it. You do. This is your play.
Yes, yes, I wrote it. It's my play.
We have a short trailer that we'd like to show folks before we get into some more questions.
Cool.
Okay.
Flying! Feet, what do I need you for when I have wings to fly? I fell in love with you the minute I saw you. And when I saw you, I called you over.
Moon, I'm Edsley, and I am your son.
My son God, I have lived under your shadow long enough. You're such a selfish toad.
Wow, all of this good stuff you had in there.
Yeah, it's a fun play. I love doing it.
Now, would you please tell us, who is this lady that we're talking about, Frida Kahlo?
Frida Kahlo is one of the most famous female painters of the time, of our time, and her time. She's become so big that when I went to Paris and I was at the Champs-Élysées, there was a huge exhibition of her paintings in Diego's at the Grand Palais, which is one of the top museums in France. Okay. And made me feel very proud, to be a Latina. That's for sure. But this play, it was, I've written, this is my 10th play.
Wow.
Yes, and my friends always say, well, when are you going to write about Frida Kahlo? But everybody writes about Frida Kahlo. And I wanted to explore a part of Frida that nobody really knew. And so when I decided to write about Frida Kahlo, I did it because I found something very interesting. Nobody had explored the last week of her life. Okay. Because her birthday was the 7th, right? And then she died the 13th. And I found that very interesting that within that week, she celebrated her birthday and then she died. Yeah. So that's the area that I explore. Okay. And I found out a lot of things about Frida that, she wasn't just a painter. She was much more than that.
Can you share that with us?
Oh, well, of course. She was a revolutionary woman. She really lived during a time where, there was racial segregation, there was male domination, and there was female subjugation. So, and she was able to travel, navigate this time where she was in, and defying all the social norms. For example, the way she dressed, her makeup, her hair. She smoked cigarette. That was like not a very lady thing to do back then. And she just expressed herself the way she wanted to, not only through her paintings, but the way she lived her life. So yeah, she was a very powerful lady. And so when I started exploring the last week of her life, it's after they amputate her right leg. Oh, okay. So I do most of the play either on the bed or in the wheelchair.
That explains the wheelchair.
Or crutches, which is what she was going through at the time. Okay. And then I realized that she was under a lot of painkillers. Demerol, she drank a lot of brandy. She was trying to numb the pain that she was having. And through this process that she was going through, in the play, you see her hallucinating in a way. It's between sleep and wakefulness. So when she's in that state of mind, which she was, she would see things. She would perhaps see Leon Trotsky's ghost, who legend has it that haunts Casa Azul. Okay. So there's that character of the ghost of Leon Trotsky.
Got you back in history now.
Oh, yeah. Yes. We're talking history here. Yes. I love history. Then there is the character of Chavela Vargas. Chavela Vargas was one of our female lovers. So I explore her bisexuality. She had many male lovers, but for some reason nobody explored the female lovers, and so I thought, oh, let me explore that situation there. So I found out that she had a fling with Josephine Baker when she was in Paris. So we have Josephine Baker on stage in the play. She also had another little affair with Maria Felix, who is a big diva, a Mexican diva, movie star in Mexico, and they became very good friends. And also I explore the relationship between Diego and Frida at the time, which was very interesting because he was not really there much at the time. So it deals with her missing him and wanting him there. And so the scenes between them are very passionate, but at the same very, strong and sometimes a little bit painful to watch because it was a very, not a normal relationship. It was a very loving relationship, but there was also other facets to it. So I explore that as well.
Okay. We're getting a lot of information on this play. How about from an entertainment source?
Oh, of course, it's always entertainment. We have live music.
Got you.
We have iconic songs like Maria Bonita, Macorina, which is a very famous song by Chavela Vargas. We have La Llorona, Paloma Negra, Piensa en mí, and all the songs are sung in Spanish, by the way.
Excellent.
The play is in English, though.
Okay. Now, you brought something with you, the book that you have in your hand?
Yes, the book has been published at Amazon.com.
All right.
And you can actually get the book on Amazon. And you can read the book and then come see the play.
Now, that's the good question. Come to see the play.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what the location of the theater is and what are the dates?
The location is at Casa 0101. It's a beautiful venue in East LA. And it runs from February 8th through the 23rd, and you can get $20 tickets, early bird tickets on matchatheater.org.
Okay.
And it's Friday and Saturdays at 8. And and there's always a party before the play.
Oh.
And then we have a party after the play. Well, she loved to party. Frida was a very, even though she was going through a lot of pain, she found a way to surpass that. And so she had a lot of music in her life, live musicians. So that's part of the play, and that's where the entertainment comes in.
Right. You've got a great crew that's going to be performing in this play.
Oh,
Can you tell us about them, please?
Yes, well, I have my nurse, Judith, is Trisha Cruz.
Okay.
Then I have my musician, Francisco Medina. He also plays Manolo. I have Sandra Valls, who plays Chavela Vargas. She has a beautiful song. She sings beautifully. Then I have Marjorie Burgos, who plays Maria Felix. I have Paul Cascante, who plays Leon Trotsky. And I have Campbell De Silva, who plays Diego Rivera, and also his alternate is Corky Dominguez. There's so many people in this play, I love it. I have Ebony Perry plays Josephine Baker. And then Manta Ballardo plays Tina Modotti. And then we have a little Diego. His name is Joseph. Joseph Bixler.
Now we have a picture of you in full dress. Can you show that one, Tony?
Yes.
Yes, there you are. There. Oh, that's marvelous. Look at that. Can you go back to that for just a second? Yeah.
I love that picture. It's one of my favorites.
Yes. That is beautiful. How long does it take to get into that outfit?
Well, what takes most of the time is the makeup and the hair.
Gotcha.
You know. Actually, I wore my hair back today because I wanted to have that Frida look.
Ah, it's a good look. It's a good look. You have any plans for taking this play on the road?
There's a couple of theaters that are interested in bringing it somewhere else, but nothing is, for sure yet. Somebody asked me to do a one-woman show based on the play, so I might explore that possibility.
Oh, okay. I was at a stage reading the other day, and a guy had questions after, people get a chance to ask questions after the play. And one thing that was brought up about the cost of doing these kind of plays today. Can you speak on that issue,
Oh,
please?
my goodness, yes. Nothing is for free in this world.
Yes.
It costs a lot. It's a 99-seat theater, but you still have to have a quality production. And in order to have a quality production, you have to spend money. I was lucky because this is a grant. I applied for a grant to do this particular play at Casa. And I was lucky that it was given to me, the grant. And
they're drying up, I'm told.
Huh?
A lot of those monies are drying up, I'm told.
Yes, they are,
Yes.
unfortunately.
Yes.
So it's called the Eastside Arts Grant Initiative, and it comes from the California Foundation, I believe.
Okay.
It wasn't a big grant; it was a small grant, but that's why I'm only doing 6 shows, because I want the quality to be there. It's not the quantity; it's the quality, and it will be there. So we're already sold out for opening night.
Excellent.
So I'm very, very excited about that.
Excellent.
And tickets are selling, so please go and get those tickets.
Telephone number?
We don't have a phone number. We have a website where you can actually buy the tickets, which is Macha, M-A-C-H-A Theater, THEATRE.org.
Okay.
We're a nonprofit. So.
Of course, okay. A couple more questions. One is, what is, from your view, what is the current status of the Hispanic theater right now, as we stand?
Hispanic theater.
The things that are going on right now, more and more things happening. Kids are going up, new people coming in, the business is going.
Well, that's always happening, right?
Yes. There are a few setbacks as far as awards and things like that.
Yes, there are setbacks. Yes. Gee, it's always been not easy to do theater in LA. LA is a town of film.
Yes,
this is what you do.
Yes.
You know, I'm going to an audition after this, so believe me, I know. But I love doing plays. There's nothing, theater, plays are a different animal. You know, you have a live audience in front of you. That's very special.
Yes, it is.
When you say something and they laugh.
Yes.
Or when you say something and they cry.
Yes.
And, you feel the energy of the audience. And in a 99-seat theater, you're very, very close to them. It's very cool. It's very exciting. I love it.
The first time you stepped on the stage, you remember that?
I used to be in the choir in junior high.
Yes.
And then they would do little plays here and there. But the first real thing that I did was that little Cuban play.
Yes.
And then after that, I did other plays, through college. I even worked at the Jewish Repertory Theater in New York.
Hey, the job is the job.
That was really fun.
Right. Sure. I know a lot of my friends, fellow actors and actresses, they go where the action is at.
Yes.
Seeing the good plays, getting a good plays. And I know we just got a bit or two, but I know one of my main bones that I like to pick when we talk about stage, there's a lot of people who come to this town for what you say for television and film.
Yes.
And you say, hey, how about the stage? I don't do that, not me. You can't get me up on the stage. I just look at them.
Well, doing a play is time consuming.
It is.
And we live in LA and people are very busy here, driving on the freeway for hours. No.
Yes.
I had to say that because the other day it was like 2 hours on the freeway. But if you're for me, if you can do many things. I've done film, I have done soap operas, TV series, but the craft of acting is really on stage. That is really where you grow as an actor, I think, because you take time to really work on the play, on the subtext, on the character. That's my point of view.
Okay.
Maybe because I'm just so enthralled by
Odalys,
life.
thank you. Those are beautiful words coming out of your mouth, out the mouth of a veteran actor. It sounds very, very well.
Thank you, Ron.
If you can give us a repeat of dates, place, and time so people won't forget that.
Yes, Frida Stroke of Passion is going to be at Casa 0101, and it opens February 8th through the 23rd.
Okay.
And you can get early bird $20 tickets at machatheater.org.
All right. I have one more question that I always like to ask people.
Of course.
And that is, how do you want to be remembered?
Ooh, wow. As a great writer. You're going to make me teary-eyed.
No, that wasn't the intent, but because I get some good answers when I ask that question. Thank you so much for coming today. I got to give you one of these. Have your right hand, please.
Oh, my goodness.
Right hand. Good luck
this
for you
really
and your
nice.
audition.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Had a pleasure, and I want to thank the good folks over at Espada
PR, yes.
Yes, and especially publicist Camille L. Cortez Lopez.
Sí, Camille.
Camille, she's a beautiful lady. She takes care of you guys, and she really is.
She does.
Whenever she comes in the door, I know there's some great folks with her. Great folks with her. Definitely.
This is really nice. Wow.
Thank you. I want to say a special thanks to our sponsors, Harvey Brandman Photography as an Art, Ron Urban's 5150 The Book, Larry Buford's Book to the Future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule, and State Farm agent Carla Green. And much thanks for our guest today, Chef Eddie Garza, and actress, playwright, Odalys Nanin.
Nanin.
I'm going to get it yet. Nanin. And
It's
best,
all right, I correct you.
that's okay. Thank you. No problem at all. My ego ain't that bad. And best wishes to our ever-growing audience. And we'll see you all the next time. Take care. Oh, yeah.